Hello everybody, this is the Mothership here, and today I'm going to be going through my top 10 favorite dungeons in Realm of the Mad God. Now, this was suggested by a fan, a subscriber, on one of my recent videos, and I thought it was just a really cool idea because you guys can know more about me and know what my kind of dungeons are, and then if you ever see me in the realm, you can be like, hey, look, over here, there's a Tomb of the Ancients, and I can be like, no way, and then I can log off because it's dinner time. Anyway, let me know in the comments what your favorite dungeon is. Okay, so into the video. Coming in at number 10 here, I'm going to have to say the Lost Halls. Because I don't know, this dungeon, I feel like it gets a little old because it's pretty much the same thing over and over. It's not so much like I guess the Shatters is sort of similar, but the spawns kind of vary a little more. I only do Lost Halls in the really big Lost Halls, like Spooky Boy Central Discord type of thing. So I don't really get the whole terrifying experience of trying to do a public one and having everybody be everywhere. It's more just like a loot farm. But the loot, oh the loot. The Lost Halls has some really good items that I have still yet to get, except for the dagger. I've gotten the T13 dagger, which is really cool, and I've gotten a bunch of tops and pots and stuff, you know, the usual. But I really like that dagger. It's on my rogue right now. And I think the Lost Halls overall is just a really cool dungeon that really promotes teamwork. And the fact that you actually can use a Discord to divide up teams and go into something with raid leaders, I think that's super cool because I've always wanted that aspect of an MMORPG in Realm of the Mad God. Now, my 9th favorite dungeon is going to be the Nest. The same vein of like really difficult dungeons here. The Nest is so fun. You get to the boss and there's just machine guns everywhere. It's so great. It's spinning in a circle and you're like, what do I do? And the answer, shoot it. That's all you have to do. It's like a loot balloon that wants to kill you. So I think it's super, especially when you can't teleport. Like during the events, great, there's event chests, but not being able to teleport in that dungeon is so fun. I don't think I've ever really had an unfair death in there, which makes it better. I know a lot of people have, Hofster has, a couple of my guildies have, but like, I've never had an unfair death. I've always just died stupidly in there if I deserved it. So I think it's really cool. And getting the stinger on my OPE was probably one of the awesomest loot experiences I've had in the last year. Number 8 is going to be Davy Jones' Locker. I really like this dungeon just because it's such a unique thing. You have to go through like a maze of pathways and hallways and find all the keys. And then if you already went through a hallway, but you didn't have the key at the time, and then you get the new key, and then you can go back and get the other key, and then you can find the boss. I just think it's cool. And having to damage the lanterns, it's kind of like the parasite chambers, you know, where you have to do something to make the boss vulnerable. I think that's a really cool thing to do instead of just making the boss invulnerable for a set amount of time. So you actually feel like you're doing something in that time. Also, Davies, as far as they go in terms of loot, a high, not extreme, but high level of loot here it's really cool. Like the dagger and the spectral cloth armor, it's all really good. If you're willing to sacrifice, you know, a couple of stats to get those items, they can be uniquely useful. For number 7, I'm gonna put the Parasite Chambers. I really do like this dungeon because it's so easy to die in a silly way, which kind of has me on alert. At the boss, if you run sideways, you can just get insta-killed by those like dodging phases and stuff like that, which I really like that kind of feeling in a game when you can die instantly, but it's entirely your fault if you do. The Parasite Chambers is just also a fame farm. You get so much fame. Like, there's nothing better I could be doing while clear. I don't feel like if I'm clearing, I'm not like, oh, there's something better I could be doing with my life right now. Like, there is nothing better I could, well, except maybe getting a girlfriend. But, you know, it's just such a cool dungeon with some really good loot at the end and a tea room to boot. So I think it's got to make it into this list somewhere, and number 7 seems like a great place for it, just because it's got some really good items at the end, and it's a really fun fight. For number 6, mainly for nostalgia's sake, I have the Mad Lab. I think this dungeon is really fun because of the green goo, because it makes you go faster, so sometimes you do want to step in it to go run somewhere. It also can kill you, like if you get Enforcer botted or something like that. Yeah, it's the Enforcer bots. Or if you get confused at the boss fight and you run into one of the purple towers. There's a great clip of that somewhere in my videos, but I can't remember which one. And I think the second boss fight, it's just an interesting character as well. So I think it's kind of a cool mix of all kinds of different aspects of the game that come together in one place, like a silly aspect, but also just it's a fun fight. At the end there too, he goes into his little pod and he yells at you, and the green potions killed my 5/8 archer when it was one attack away from maxing 6/8 for the first time in my life, but that's okay, I'm not salty about that at all. For number 5 here, I put the Tomb of the Ancients. Now, Tomb of the Ancients is like Paralyze Central, and that's why I love it. It doesn't happen, you don't get paralyzed that often, actually, but when you do, you're gonna die, and I love that. I lost my first gemstone with a full purple set on my assassin. I think I was 7-8 because I got paralyzed and didn't realize that there was a jackal right around the corner from where I was paralyzed, and I died. Also, nut rage reactions. If you haven't watched the nut rage reactions videos, I don't know what rock you've been living under, but those are great. It's like the essence of Mothership put into one video, which I get so afraid of nut rage. I still do sometimes. It's not as bad because usually I can just PPE BTW XD lull my way through it on the night and just stun Nut when she comes over, but it used to be really bad, especially in my crappy characters, when I would go into a tomb and just get destroyed by nut rage. The Tomb of the Ancients also has some really good loot, like the Pura is still arguably one of the top rings in the game. Just that attack, defense, HP boost, it's really good. The Prot is one of my favorite tomes ever, and the Nile it's feed power for my legendary pet, because I still don't have a divine. Coming in at number 4 here, we have the Manor of the Immortals. The Manor okay, Puri is good, I guess. Everything else in the Manor is kind of crap tier as far as loot goes, but the Manor is really fun. Like, the Bone Dagger is a unique item that you can use to clear, like, absolutely nothing unless it's really low HP, but it's kind of fun to use because it pierces. The Stinger is like an OP version of the Bone Dagger, which is why I love the Nest. But I think the Manor is cool mostly because of the art style and the concept behind it. Like the lightning that comes in through the windows and the bookshelves and the Nosferatus or whatever that are hidden in I think it's the Nosferatu hidden in the bookshelves and stuff like that. Also, the boss has killed way too many of my characters because I lag out and then the shotgun comes out and I run through it sideways. It's kind of a bad time, but that's okay because I think it's fun, and dying on characters just means I get to play a different character for a while. For number 3 here, we've got the UDL, the Undead Lair. Okay, so we play the OPE series a lot, and if you're not normally on the channel, you wouldn't probably know what that is, but the OPE series, you have to get every item in order. And let me tell you, there is basically nothing more useful in this world for getting every item in order than hopping into a UDL. Also, you can level up so quickly in UDLs. So basically, the experience here, let me just walk you through this. You enter the portal, you're level 5. You kill everything on your way. On your way, you end up with like T8 weapons, T4 abilities, T3 rings, and, probably like a T1 armor you picked up in a pirate cave at the beginning of the game, but that's okay. So the UDL, it gives you everything you need, and also by the end of the dungeon, you're probably like level 18 or 20, just because you can just clear the whole thing, and everything gives you enough XP to level up. Now, another great part of it is the traps, because if you have max speed, you'll run over one at some point in your entire gameplay career, and it will kill you, which I absolutely love, because there's nothing better than dying in this game. Seriously, if you haven't figured it out, I kind of like dying. It's really nice. But I lost a Huntress once running over a trap. I also lost a Huntress once running through a bunch of slimes. Basically, don't take Huntresses into UDLs. It's a good way to die. Things I do recommend taking into UDLs: Sorcerers. Sorcerers are very good in UDLs. And the best part about a UDL here is the Doombow. That is the best item in the game in a lot of situations. Like, sure, there's really good, other weapons. There's good abilities. But if you're about to do a Shatters and everybody's on their Warriors and Paladins, they're all buff classes, what do they ask for? What do they ask for here? More Debo Archers. Yes, more Debo Archers. And it's so good. That's why I love the Doombow. If I get a Doombow, you'll see I'm very excited about it. I don't have that many. I don't get that many. But when I do, I'm excited because they're really good. It makes Archer and Huntress playable, in my opinion. I don't think I would play them very much at all without it, because the Coral Bow T-Shot and I have the winter reskin of it, the Covert, that's what it's called, are all like meh. So I just really like the Doombow. For number 2, I have you probably saw this one coming at some point here, the Shatters. I love ice spheres. Holy crap. Mad God Monday 7, I dragged an ice sphere. I think it was Mad God Monday 7. I dragged an ice sphere onto the bridge. We were messing around. It was one of those messy ones, no hard feelings type of deal. But then I got cornered on the bridge with my ice sphere and it blew up right next to me. I dropped to like 105 health on a paladin that I'm pretty sure I still have. Really nice paladin and stuff. I think it was 8/8 actually. Anyway, it's so dangerous and it's so fun, and there's always kind of like unpredictable things that can fly in from off-screen ice spheres essentially. And I feel like just that combined with the loot in it and the idea of having to get like switches and things as you go to keep the progression going, and the ability to lava walk through things if you want to skip it. It's a really dynamic thing, and I think it was the first dungeon in Realm where I really felt a sense of like people trying to take a dungeon on together. Because after Pets, like Orcs' Castle was kind of easy and stuff like that. So like Shatters kind of brought people together in terms of like, let's figure this out, let's do it, let's farm this as quickly as possible type of thing. And for that, I really like that dungeon. For number 1, some of you, the OGs, will know this because I've said it a couple times on the channel. It was one of the giveaway questions in a stream once. I think somebody won like a pixie sword off of this or something. The Abyss of Demons is my absolute favorite dungeon in the game. And no, I don't actually run the Abyss of Demons pretty much ever anymore. And that's okay, because I still think it's really cool, and back in the day, I absolutely loved doing it. So the Abyss of Demons the lava is just so cool. I think it's just such a great addition. I hope when they migrate the game off Flash someday that they like texture the lava to be super duper cool and like high resolution and stuff, but yeah, that's beside the point. I think it's a super cool dungeon, and a lot of my old videos were centered around the Abyss of Demons because I'd have to farm all the time. This was back when it dropped like guaranteed death vit type of deal. But the main thing I loved about the Abyss of Demons was the D-Blade, because this was before the Pixie. I haven't really run Abysses since the Pixie came out, because the Pixies, I like it better in most situations. But in the Abyss of Demons, I would go in there if I had a night that did not have a D-Blade. I'd go in there at like 8 at night, once I got done with my homework after school and everything back when I was in high school. And then I would take my night and I'd run through these little Abyss of Demons. I'd do them in like 2-3 minute rush runs, and then I'd get to the boss, I'd kill him, and I'd wait for a white bag to drop. And this would go until 1 or 3 or 4 in the morning, and I'd play all night only doing Abyss of Demons until I would have my D-Blade. And then I'd freak out about getting a D-Blade because I'd done like 50 of them. I'd freak out and I'd be like, oh my god, everybody, I got a D-Blade. And they'd be like, I don't care. And I'd be like, I don't care that you don't care. And for that reason, I really like the Abyss of Demons, just because it used to give me my favorite UT, and also it's the foundation of a bunch of old channel like memes, like the golden Femir and the Fazoli breadsticks funny moments all came out of the Abyss of Demons. So just going into one it always makes me laugh because I think they're super fun and super cool looking, and that's why it places top on my list. Thank you for watching. This has been my top 10 favorite dungeons. I want you to put your favorite dungeon in the comments below so I can argue with you on why the Abyss of Demons is better. I mean, support your decision and learn more about the community and their opinions. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to go check out the OPE series if you haven't, because it's really fun and I'll have a great time doing it. I'll see you in the next video, guys.